And I'm live, and this is so exciting. It's been a while since the last time I was live. Let's wait for some people to join. I'm Teacher Prix, and I want to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. And why am I doing a live video on a Wednesday? Yeah, guys. Let me see. I want to try to connect here. 1 second, okay? Hey, who's joined? Let me know who you are. Say hi, okay? Say hi, say hello. And I'm trying to check here. Hi, I'm Manu. How are you? Bartolomeo, thanks for joining. How are you guys doing? I am close to the camera because I'm using the headphone. Oh, sorry about hitting it. I can't find my lapel mic. Hi, Arthur. How are you? Edivan, thanks for joining. Clayton, how are you all doing tonight? Hi from Yuri from Russia. That's amazing. First, guys, let me thank you for all your support. You've been watching my daily videos. You've been leaving your comments, replying, posting your answers, participating. You're sharing the videos, and this is amazing. December is usually a slow month for educational channels, but I am so happy that you guys are participating. Ugur is saying that it's 2:34 in the morning for him. Oh my God, the key to be fluent is not to sleep and study English. So don't go to sleep, study English with me because it's very promising. Hi, Bruno. Thank you so much. I'm so happy you like me. Thank you. Oh, I can't shake the camera because my selfie stick broke and I'm using something that is temporary. So the cell phone could fall in the middle of the live stream, okay? If that happens, I'm sorry. I'll get back to it, but I'm just giving you a heads up. And I see lots of you are joining. This is so amazing. Did you watch yesterday's video? Did you? And did you do the homework? Next year, I'm planning more videos with listening exercises, where after I give you the explanation, I'm going to do a short part where I give you an exercise, but I don't post the subtitles. So let me know if you think this is a good idea, okay? And I hope to see your answers on yesterday's video where I talk about the clock, about the time. Hi, Nontue, thanks for joining. Hello, William. Hi to everyone who is joining. And why did I decide to talk about the key to fluency? This is such a trendy subject. Everybody wants to know more about it. What's the key? What's the secret? And I guess that different teachers, different ideas, but at the end of the day, they are all pretty much the same. And why did I decide to do this video and talk about the key to English fluency? It's because of you guys. It's because of the messages I receive from you guys. And many of you ask me about the key to fluency. And what am I going to talk about? I think that I have two different scenarios here. I have beginners who send me messages, false beginners, because if they were 100% beginners, they wouldn't be able to ask me that question in English, because not all of my followers are Brazilians. Not all of them speak Portuguese. So most of the people who come to me and ask me this question are false beginners. Hi, Victor. Thanks for joining. So I have two scenarios. I have the false beginner who comes to me and asks me, teacher, what's the key to fluency? And I have the intermediate, pre-intermediate speaker, someone who's been in the journey for quite some time. And this student also wants to know the key to English fluency. And let me tell you one thing that it's interesting. The answer is the same for both. The only difference is that someone who's in the intermediate level, who's an intermediate speaker, is not as motivated to do these things, to do these exercises. And usually when people ask me this question, and hey guys, this video is gonna be a little bit short. It's a little late here in Sao Paulo, and I had planned a video for today, but unfortunately, the sound didn't work on the video I shot, so I wouldn't be able to post it. So I decided, why not make a live video for them? Because I promised daily videos this month. So here I am. keeping my part of the bargain and making the video for you. That's why I'm making the live video tonight. And why am I doing this? I usually reply to all the questions I get. What is the key to fluency? And not everybody enjoys the answer because the answer is simple. The answer is repetition. And teacher, but is that simple? Yes, the answer is simple, but the application, doing it, is not simple. It's complex because it requires determination. It requires discipline. It requires commitment. It requires courage because it's not a very fun exercise. It's something we do not like to do. I imagine because I do the same, okay? For example, I'm always studying ways to improve my YouTube videos, all right? I am not good at editing videos. I am not good at editing audios, or I'm not good at marketing ideas. So I am always trying to find different videos with different tips. But the secret is the same. If I keep repeating, I will get better. Okay, hi Susie, your first time here. Thanks for joining. Okay, welcome aboard. And why am I looking for something new? Because the repetition requires commitment. Most of the videos, the same videos I watch, they teach me the same strategy. They teach me the same techniques. They're not about English, talking about video, about marketing, about improving your audio qualities. They all get back to the same aspect, that is repeat. Okay, the more I use a software, the more I'm gonna learn how to use that software. I currently use Adobe Premiere. It's an editing software, and it's a very complex one. And how am I gonna get better? If I repeat. But do I want to repeat and keep doing and keep learning and keep watching the same lessons all over again? Not always. We get, and I know because I feel this way, we get bored. Okay, we don't want to repeat. But when a false beginner comes to me, I like to emphasize that because they are in the beginning of the journey. And it's easier to accept that if you want to learn present perfect, you will have to repeat this many, many, many times. I remember once I was talking to a student of mine, and we had been talking about present perfect, and all of a sudden he stopped and said, "Teacher, I know I am using present perfect, but I don't really know why. I don't really know if I understand. So why do you keep repeating the exercises? Like, we've been talking about this for 2 weeks now. Why do you keep changing the subject but still make me use present perfect?" And then I said, well, that's why. Because I want you to repeat. You don't need to understand why you're using it. Of course, I explained the rules and explanations, but you don't need to have all the answers. You need to start using, and it's working. You're using it, so congratulations. Then he was like, oh, thank you. I'm so happy about that. I didn't know that was your idea. So sometimes I have the same conversations with my clients, with my students. I just change a few things here, a few things there, but the goal is always the same. Okay, so for example, many students come to me and they say, "Teacher, I can't remember simple past. Oh, it's so hard. I can't remember the conjugations of the irregular verbs. They're so tricky. I never remember them." And what do? I spend an entire month. Well, maybe more than a month. But I always try to make this student talk about the past. I love talking about the present and I love talking about the future, but I make this student relive moments and talk about the past because this is repetition. The student may not see it as a repetition because he's so entertained by the conversation and by the situation I create, but my focus is the same. I am basically teaching this student the art of repetition. The art of repetition doesn't have to be boring, and that's my main lesson for you today. Repetition doesn't have to be boring. Repetition has to be creative. Okay? So when you think that you are done studying simple past, you're not. There are more things for you to talk about that will demand simple past from you. So that is my first answer to my beginners. Okay, so repetition is your best friend, but you need to use your imagination, and you need to try to look for different tools, different ideas to help you with the repeating process, because it is tiring. It is boring. It is boring to repeat the same kind of exercise all over again. I often have students. Arthur says he's practicing his listening. And I get this question very often: teacher, I understand what you're saying, but when I watch British shows, I can't understand. It's too difficult. And then I talk about the repetition. Not everybody enjoys it, but it's key again. Now, if you listen to the same audio 100 times, it'll be boring. But if you listen to similar audios with similar subjects, it'll be more interesting. So, let's suppose, I don't know, the tip of my nose is itchy. I don't know why. So I'm sorry, I'm not picking my nose, but it's itchy. Oh my God, it's like, oh. Anyways, so what was I saying? Oh yes. So my suggestion is make the repetition fun. So if you're having problems with understanding specific kinds of accents, okay, British accent, Australian accent, focus on one subject, okay, and try to find different audios that talk about the same subject or that are similar. They don't have to be the exact same subject. And then look for patterns. What moments are difficult for you? This is repetition, but it's a more different way to repeat the same thing. You're repeating the subject. You're repeating the accent. It's the same accent. Sometimes it's the same person, but a different video. That's why I always recommend watching different kinds of channels, not just educational channels, but watch American vloggers, Australian vloggers, Canadian vloggers, and YouTubers, because you are going to learn so much with these people. Okay, and then by repeating and watching their videos and watching similar subjects, you are going to improve your listening. But this is not always a fun exercise to do. Okay, so this is the answer I give to my beginners. Now, when the intermediate comes to me, and they usually tell me, Priscilla, I feel stuck. I'm not moving forward, and I don't know what to do. I have tried everything. And I believe you. I believe that you have tried probably not everything, because everything is so open, is so general. But I believe you have tried many things. But have you repeated these things over and over again? And that's the key to fluency. You will try many things, but to make it work, to make these things work, you will have to repeat them over and over and over again. When I studied English, I didn't have access to internet. So I would spend my entire afternoon listening to the CDs, physical CDs, okay? CDs. I would listen to them and I would repeat and repeat and repeat. I finished listening to the entire CDs and I would do it again. Now, that exercise was boring. Okay, but I had no option. I didn't have resources. I didn't have the resources you have today. Okay, today you have more options of things you can do that are not as boring as listening to the same CD all over and over and over again. But that's what I did. Now, at that time, I didn't know exactly why I kept doing it. All I knew was that I wanted to improve, and I did what I could with the resources I had. So if you are an intermediate speaker and you're feeling stuck right now, and you feel like you tried different techniques, you tried different materials, you tried different teachers, sometimes we go and we try to find native teacher, Native Americans or native speakers in general, and we try one here, we try one there, but we don't feel like it's working. It's because of the repetition process. Okay, so I think that the most important lesson I can give you And I will probably make more videos about this because it's such an important subject, is the importance of repetition. But be creative. And right now, I feel like intermediate speakers all over the world, not just in Brazil. I get a lot of Brazilian people watching my videos and following me, but I have a lot of Asian people. Woohoo! Thank you so much for joining and watching my videos and being a subscriber. I also have a lot of, Mexican, Argentinian, Italian, people from all over the place, from Poland. My goodness, this is so awesome. And I feel like you all have this in common by the comments you give, by the questions you ask me. I also check other YouTube channels where you also post questions. I like to check. I like to see what's going on in my field. And I get these questions from other people, maybe people who are not my followers, not my subscribers, but I see that it's the same question. I am stuck. What's the key to fluency? Maybe you don't need to change the book. Maybe you don't need to change maybe you don't need to change the school you're attending. Maybe you don't need to change the materials you're using. Maybe you just need to use them more than you are right now and not give up on them. Because when we feel like we are not moving forward, we give up, okay? And when I say repetition, some people, they understand that, okay, so I should repeat for a month, right? And if it's not working, what do I do? We have a tendency to establish very short deadlines to see if something is working, okay? I have clients who have been with me for more than a year, for more than 2 years. I have some students who have been with me for quite a long time. Now, is that a bad thing? Not at all. They're speaking very well. They are more confident. I get some of the feedback I get is, teacher, I'm thinking in English. This is amazing. Not 100% of the time, but I am. It's changing. And I can tell you that with all these clients, what I do is I repeat. I repeat subjects. I just make them a little bit different. I change something here. I change something there. I use a different video. I use a different audio, but the subject is the same. I repeat. And if I feel like the student is not, maybe the student is having some problems with a specific grammar point or a specific kind of pronunciation exercise, then I focus on exercise. I focus on conversation subjects that will make the student talk about that exact thing he's not so comfortable with, okay? And this is repetition. And I have these students doing this for more than a year. So don't establish a deadline, okay? Because you may feel disappointed and frustrated if you don't get to that deadline, and if you don't feel the improvement you had thought here in your mind when you first came up with that deadline, okay? Deadline. So my suggestion is don't set dates like such short like dates. In 2 months, teacher. So in 6 months, if I keep repeating, I'll be fine. I don't know. It's not a cake recipe. Okay, and some students, they get upset with me when I say that, and I feel really sorry. I don't mean to disrespect or to be mean and bad and be negative, but I can never tell you how long it's going to take. Like, if you repeat this exercise for 10 months, problem solved. You'll be fine, because it doesn't work that way. Okay, I see more people are joining. Hi, there are some names I can't pronounce, but hi. Thanks for joining. I see lots of Brazilians have joined. I see some people from other countries have joined. This is amazing. If you're joining for the first time, thank you so much, and please subscribe and also share this video, because sharing is caring. And the more you share, the more people learn about me, and the more this community grows. So thank you very much for sharing and for liking and for participating in the chat. Okay, so I'm almost ending this video. I wanted to make it short because the message is very objective. Okay, so after I finish the video, if you want to post in the comments your specific questions to how you can improve specific needs, what kind of exercises you can do to help you improve. Okay, and I'm talking about repetition. Okay, what kind of exercises you can repeat to improve certain needs. Okay, another example, I had a student who had real problems pronouncing the vowel sounds, okay, like the alphabet. All right, so I decided to go from she was a beginner. Okay, she was a false beginner, but she was a beginner. So I taught the very basic thing about the alphabet. And the first thing I stopped and I told her not to do was to make associations with the Portuguese language. Okay, we both speak Portuguese. She's a Brazilian client. So I said, no associations with Portuguese. Let's think of English. So let's think of words that have similar sounds. And then we start practicing the vowel sounds individually. And I made gestures with my hands to help her remember the sounds. I made jokes, we laughed, we played. And today I ask her a word because I still ask her to spell words to me. Every class I ask her to do that. It's very basic. She learned, but I want to guarantee that she keeps that way. And to stay that way, to keep that way, she needs to repeat. So I ask a word here, a word there. Can you spell that word, please? And she remembers. And sometimes she remembers the gestures I made when I was teaching her how to spell the words correctly in English. So that's the kind of repetition I am talking about. Repetition doesn't have to be boring. It has to be creative, okay? So post your questions at the end of this video in the comments, questions of suggestions, how to improve your writing, and I'll give you some ideas. Tell me what your difficulty is, okay? I'm looking at myself because, glam. I'm sorry, it's just a habit. Sometimes it's difficult to look at the camera. So post your difficulties, what kind of difficulty you have, and I will come up with a suggestion for you. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Tomorrow there will be another video, not a live one, okay, but maybe I'll try to do another live video. Give me suggestions. I saw some suggestions and I'm working on them. But other than that, guys, I hope you have a wonderful night or a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.